All right, we are live. We are live. Welcome. Very, very first. Really, this is one of my first. So welcome to Phenomenal Information Podcast. Tonight we're going to focus on real real skill, not just real. All right, my topic is basically on where we're going to be typically talking about emotional growth, financial foundation, lifestyle, real life hacks, all of these things, everything that you need basically throughout the basic necessities. This is a test trial once again. I'm just sampling myself out to see my sound, to see how I look on camera. First of all, I feel like I can to the left. I don't like that. I don't know how to shift it. You don't have access to this feature. Oh, how do I fix it? I don't know how to do that. So I want to go on that. And it's all over the I need to look. Um, all righty. Welcome to Phenomenal Podcast. I'm your host, Phenomenal 504, and tonight is the very, very first podcast, y'all. And I just wanted to thank everybody who's going to watch this video. I'm slow starting, but once I get myself going, it's like I think I'll turn around. So just thank everybody for being here, supporting me, checking me out. It's very, 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 Um, before we get started, go ahead and like this video, share early on, and invite somebody who you think might need this message. Today's message is what one of my messages. Why I started the podcast, why you should, if that's something you're interested in. But if that's not something you're interested in, sit back and listen, ask questions, and get much enjoy. Let me know how it is. Well, I started this podcast because I know there's people out there who feel stuck, overwhelmed, tired, and lost. And I tried, and I feel like they need a space for someone to speak to them in a real language on their level. You know, a lot of times when we talk about life skills and lifestyle, it comes from someone with elevation, it comes from someone that's high up. It typically comes from someone who was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They broke. They didn't start off with nothing and elevated themselves to go through a real process. A lot of times they they're blessed with a hand fed with a spoon, a silver spoon. That's what we call it back in the day. So just real talk. Um, so no fake movement, no sugar coat. We're not gonna do any of that. No pretend. I'm not gonna do anything. Just real talk about money, a mindset, emotions, relationships, healing, and loving stuff. All of these things. Um, I've lived through the most. I used to think that most people probably both, honestly. Most people probably if you have to stuff that different. Um, and instead, I let these things, instead of letting these things hurt me, I came back strong. Come back strong. But I'm gonna also use that as power and strength and life. So now we're gonna talk about starting exactly where you are. Not what people think you should be. Okay? You're not gonna focus on what people think you should be. Most people typically see you from the outside and in, and they watch. They feel like they watch your life, or they know so much about the person you may be with, or somebody you experience in life with, and they will instantly feel like they can make a decision on your life, and that's not their choice to make. People have a tendency to go all out of their way to want to make decisions for others. Why? Right, that's it. Um, so I'm gonna break down my decision. First of all, to have a non-biased opinion from a standpoint of coming from the bottom of to have a opinion that is strictly from my life experience, but also things that I've witnessed and learned throughout life over the years. Um, so that's my reason. I just feel like a lot of people probably need to know these things. I wish somebody would have told me some of the things that I did. Because it definitely changes your route that you take if you learn some things early on. So at this point, I'm gonna ask y'all to talk to me. What are what are you trying to change in your life? What makes you click on this live? Drop a one if you're ready. If you're ready for a new session on my life, but a new season, great. I'm trying to read from the script. I'm trying to train myself how to do these things. Okay, so this is a test. Okay, so let me give you three steps of starting leveling up for everything. Tell yourself the truth. Stop lying to yourself about what's wrong in your life. Uh, face it so you can fix it. Because if you don't face it, there's no way you can fix something you have truly face. Change your environment. A lot of times you have to change your environment because you have a cloud over your eyes of people giving all these opinions and having all of the things that they've done to fix their life. What works for them may not work. Um, Sometimes changing your environment and setting yourself apart, which means allowing yourself the space to think, allowing yourself to be able to grow without another person's opinion, with self growth. If that makes um, I would say cut off distractions while you are changing your environment. Like me, what I did, I literally separated myself from a whole bunch of people, mostly like family and friends, which is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that you don't want to be bothered. It just means that you're trying to censor and find yourself because, you know, I feel like every so many phases in our lives, we have this new height. And we go through these little mini midlife crises and we don't know what to do. Like, where am I in life? Why am I feeling this way? Why, my life is so different from what it was 10 years ago, and this and that. And we have to figure out how to adjust to these things. But sometimes we can't adjust to the reality of where we are. So changing your environment definitely makes sense for me. Um, Make one commitment and stick to it if you can do that. I would say don't make excuses. Make a commitment and actually make yourself stick to it. Not five, not 10, just one. One thing you promise yourself you will be consistent with. Me, I'm gonna promise myself to try to at least do a video once a week to try to elevate myself as a YouTuber, as a streamer. I still need my 500 subscribers in order to be able to monetize my page and things like this. So I'm just starting small. And if I had to tell somebody who was a new streamer, don't be afraid. Yo, I was scared. I'm gonna be honest. Because once I logged in and I saw that I was able to go live, the fear kicked in. And I'm a streamer on other platforms, but it's different because YouTube is like a more professional level, in my opinion. It feels like you have to prepare and do it right, or else it won't be done. So honestly, even right, my start is not perfect, but at least I'm starting. So I hope somebody can actually take this and know that you can do it too. That you don't have to be afraid of what's to come. Um, and I think in life, because you're not where you're supposed to be financially, that you are like you're too broke or too old or you're too behind on life to catch up on anything. That is not. It is never too late unless you're on your debt to get your life together and to change some things about yourself that can make anyone's life better. I don't, you know, I don't know exactly my route where I'm going to be talking, but I know the aim that I want to go in. It's going to be basically love, life, um, elevation, how to better ourselves, things about politics. Touch on a little bit of that. Probably some things about, you know, real life hacks, how to prepare for the slow economy. I've been really talking to other streamers about that, other live streams. Yeah, so let me see right now. This is different because usually I have somebody responding back, but I'm alone doing it. So it's like I'm talking to myself. What can I say? I want to just leave someone with a little affirmation. I already said you have to basically just start. Don't be afraid to start and trust yourself. Change your environment. If you want to go on a new journey in life and elevate, you have to do some of these things if you are a person that's easily distracted. Make a commitment and stick to it. Don't be afraid to stick to it. Be fair to yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Um, and when I say make a commitment, just I have to elaborate on it again because like sometimes we make way too many commitments and we're afraid to get them all done, or we feel like we're not going to get them all done in a timely manner, or we're behind on things, so we give up. We give up. We give up on ourselves. Um, and we're not doing it. Those things are over. And so I want to just do a little bit of encouragement and let you know that you are, like I said, you're not behind. You're not too old to get these things done. You are not too old. You are right on time because everything happens for a reason. And I'm a firm believer in these things. And I am proud of you for being here tonight and encouraging yourself. This is along with my elevation. I'm hoping that other people who are having the same experiences in life can join me on this little journey or this thing called trying to figure out life. I'm a middle-aged woman. I would consider myself as a middle-aged woman. In my early, yeah, I say 30s, 40s, but I'm just trying to figure out a new way to live and figure out a new way to do things. Figure out a new way to enjoy life without having to have all of the rah rah. It's crazy because I actually have on say these things about saying that I was like a wrong person. When yet my whole goal was just to have some understanding and try to figure out who they were and what's going on around me. You know, I was much younger than this person. It was way more older, way more mature, but I would say not so mature because the way they handled me. Um, so yeah, we just gotta know. We gotta figure this thing out, and we're gonna do it together. You know, say this was my first episode of Phenomenal Empire podcast with you guys. Thank you all for spending this time with me. Stay focused, y'all. Stay focused. Stay consistent. Stay focused.